Hi everyone, James Cox with PeaceFreedomProsperity.com, and if you want more content like this, please like and share my videos. Also subscribe to my YouTube channel. This story will probably make you want to throw up. It's pretty recent. I just come across it on the internet. Guards turned a women's prison into a personal sex dungeon. Yeah, it's pretty sick, right? A complaint has been filed for civil damages against the Live Oak County Jail System in Texas, naming the county and 3 guards as having turned the jail into their own personal sexual torture dungeon. The complaint alleges that 3 guards at the county jail ran a rape camp where they repeatedly raped and humiliated female inmates and forced them to masturbate and sodomize male guards and one another. The 3 guards named in the report are Vincent Aguilar, Israel Charles Jr., and Jamie E. Smith. The complaint states that beginning sometime in 2007 to August of 2010, the Live Oak County Sheriff's Office ran a rape camp known as the Live Oak County Jail. These forced acts, and I'm not going to go into all of them, included but are not limited to forcing female inmates to repeatedly perform oral sex on male guards, forcing female inmates to repeatedly masturbate the male guards, and the male guards masturbating in view of the female inmates. And like I said, I'm not going to go into all of the acts. In addition to the repeated sexual assaults, numerous female inmates were sexually harassed. Certain male guards would sometimes force the female inmates to shower in front of them while instructing them to shave their vaginas. In other instances, while detailing their degenerate sexual fantasies, the jailers would pin the girls against a wall, grope their persons, verbally berate them, digitally rape their vagina or anus, and force them to perform oral sex. The guards would also withhold food and water, engage in physical abuse, restrict privileges, and verbally and emotionally abuse the women, even threaten to kill them in order to compel their compliance. Now, one of the 3 guards who's named was sentenced to prison for a year for doing this, torturing women, a year. And the other 2 got 18 months. You know, it's a pretty good deal, right? It's a pretty good deal for turning the jail into your own sexual torture dungeon. Imagine if you or somebody in your family was to grab a woman off the street and held her as your slave in your basement. You'd probably never even see the light of fucking day. There have been similar incidents to this in Ontario. In an Ontario prison system, 31 guards got fired and 108 staff were disciplined. This stemmed from a team of investigators reviewing about 2,800 cases of use of force reported over an 18-month period, and that was between 2010 and 2011. In a separate incident in Toronto jail, 2 guards had charges filed against them for acts of torture that they allegedly committed. Now, I don't know if you're aware of the Stanford University, but they ran a psychological experiment that basically mimicked the modern-day prison system, and they did this back in 1971. What they did was they got a bunch of students and they locked them in a building, and they said half of you have to be guards and the other half have to be prisoners. And they had to halt the experiment just 6 days in because the abuse of what was happening between the students had just gone completely out of control. Now, personally, I believe there are better ways of dealing with criminals besides locking them in cages and torturing them. You know, society has such a deeply ingrained need for vengeance and retribution that the thought of anything else, less than this to people, of somebody being thrown in a cage, just doesn't cut it. You've got to throw somebody in a cage. You've got to teach them a lesson. We've got to have retribution. We've got to have vengeance. I don't know if you know this, but there are more prisons in America than any other country in the world, both per capita and total population. 86% of the federal prison population is locked up for victimless crimes, and the to me, the present prison system is a form of double victimization. When people are put in cages, the victims are forced to pay for the associated incarceration costs through the tax system. So in reality, the current system victimizes the victim twice. I think the current system of vengeance-based double victimization leads to high rates of people going back to prison, and it churns out exceptionally violent and sociopathic criminals. I think people are worse when they get out. I think that we should look for a more humane and more cost-effective alternative. Personally, myself, I think that the goal of the penal system should be to reform somebody. That's somebody that has actually done a crime, where there is a victim, where property got damaged or something like that. It should be to reform that, and the victim should get restitution and not vengeance. Every criminal that is put behind bars, just becomes a black hole of resource and destruction. It just destroys the person. The person needs to be rehabilitated, not destroyed. These people that are thrown in cages, they produce nothing, yet consume everything. I think putting prisoners in a structural environment where they can be productive and learn to value their life as well as lives of others leads to a more productive society. The present system of punishment, in my opinion, accomplishes the exact opposite. If you want more videos like this, more content, please like and share my video, and also subscribe to my channel. Peace.